Hello everyone, it's Beck and welcome to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. I finally finished my island! It has been a long time coming and I know I kept saying I'm going to finish it soon, but I finally done it. It is all finished. So what I'm going to do today for the video is go over all of the stuff that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks. I did have quite a few builds to do and I thought instead of just doing like 1 or 2 videos a week, I might try and get them all into one and do like a montage of everything that I've been doing. But before we get into that, I do want to show you some areas that I worked on off camera, because sometimes I don't want to sit at my computer, I just want to sit on the couch under a nice cozy blanket and build that way. So I'll go through and show you those areas now and then we will get into the speed builds. The first area that I need to address is Sherb's house. So I had Peck move out and I went on a quick villager hunt and I found Sherb. So I have redecorated his yard just a little bit, mainly just changing the colours over of some of the items. I am aware that Sherb is dangerous. I have heard the rumours, however I haven't had any trouble with him yet, but I am keeping an eye on him. Then we have a playground which I have on the left side of the island. I did a heap of KidCore custom codes a while ago and I've been wanting to use them, so I finally got around to doing this area. And then next to the playground I just have a small transition area with a garden bench and yet another picnic area. And this leads us over into Frank's flower farm. So I created another character on my island and I called him Frank. And I decided to give him a flower farm. I done this because of 2 reasons. One, I had a huge space that I needed to fill and I didn't know what I was going to be doing with it. And 2, I had about 5,000 flowers growing on my island and I thought, well, why not put the 2 together and create a nice little farm? And then over the other side of the bridge here we have Poppy's house. So I've made her a little vegetable garden and a wheat field. Unfortunately, I don't have a tractor and I never did come across one during my time on the island. So I've just got like a bulldozer or something in there at the moment. But I do need to address the fact that you will see at the front of her house is her photo. And the last area that I want to show you here is the cliff on the left side of the island. I had already done this in a previous video, but I have extended the flowers over onto the beach to make it look like they're cascading down the side of the cliff. And then on the rocks at the back I've just added in a few larger items to fill in the space and to give it a bit of height. So the first speed build in the video today is my campsite area. I did this area first because it was the only spare space that I had that wasn't covered in flowers and trees. All of the other areas that I need to work on are flower and tree storage areas at the moment. For this area, I just wanted to have a nice natural looking campsite with a lot of trees and a lot of flowers and a few camping items scattered around here and there. I was hoping to be able to use some more trees in this area, but unfortunately because you can't plant trees right next to the cliff or right next to the building, like as in the campsite, I couldn't really fit in as many as I wanted, but I think it looks pretty good once I'm done. So we are now back over on the left side of the island. We're on the cliff top that is behind Nook's Cranny and the Able sisters. I wasn't really sure what to do with this area here because of the shape of the cliff, and I've got the incline there and then I've got the heart-shaped pond. So I decided to do on this left hand side here to do a diagonal garden. Now initially when I done this I put a heap of bushes in and then I realised I didn't actually have enough to finish the build. I checked all around my island and I couldn't find any. I checked my storage, I didn't have any. I went to Halves Island and Leaf didn't have any. So then I had to go through and change them for something else. I think it still looks alright. I prefer the other bushes that I had in the first place, but overall with this side that I've done, I'm pretty happy with it. So the next day when I logged in, I decided to work on the other side of the cliff where the heart-shaped pond was. I'm not super happy with the way this turned out. I do like it, but I think it could have looked a lot better. However, I do think it still looks pretty cute. I've got a picnic area, I've got a little flower garden on the left, and then a random little vegetable patch on the right. Because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, I thought I might just clutter it up with some nature and see how it goes, and it didn't turn out too bad. I was really excited to start working on this area. I had wanted to do this bit for a while. I'm working on an outdoor cinema. The only problem was with this area was I was using this as a flower storage area and I had all of my bushes up here as well. So the day before I recorded this, I had to go and clear all those flowers and everything away. So what I done was on the other side of the island, I went and made a heap of room to move the flowers from the cliff over to the beach. Because honestly, by this point, nearly every spare space on my island was just overrun by flowers because I had given up trying to contain them. So what I done was, I knew I had like a shit ton of blue flowers and a shit ton of purple flowers. So I thought I'll go and sell a heap of those to make room for the ones that I need to put here. Totally fine. I went and did that. I cleared the space off. Fantastic. The next day when I started to work on this area, I decided I wanted to do just the one type of flower throughout the whole area. I wanted to do hyacinths because I knew I had heaps of them. So off I go to the other side of the island where I've got all of my hybrids, and that's when I realised that I actually made a huge mistake the night before. Because I was clearing off the beach at night time, I couldn't tell the difference between blue flowers and purple flowers, and I kept all of my purple flowers and unfortunately sold all of my blue ones. I did have some blue roses in another area, but that was not what I was looking for. I needed blue hyacinths, and unfortunately they were all gone because I'm a dumbass. I did manage to find a couple of rogue ones growing around the island to use in the build. So just a bit of a note to myself now, I need to pay attention when I'm digging up flowers at night time, that I'm actually getting rid of the ones that I want to. Also, at the time of recording this, I hadn't yet finished the custom design for the simple panels to make it look like there was a movie playing on the screen, but I have done that now. So now we are working on the next level down, just in front of that cinema that I've just done. I really wanted to use some of the food items and some of the turkey day items to do a big outdoor feast area. I kind of wanted to make it look like maybe the villagers had set up, you know, some tables and everything out in the woods, and they were all coming out here to have a big feast together. So I've just put out, you know, some tables and random chairs and a heap of food, because I love the food items in this game. They're so detailed with all of the steam and everything coming off them. I'm really happy with the way that this build turned out, and I love the way that it feels like it kind of flows into the campsite area, because honestly, a lot of the builds on my island, I really don't feel like they go together. But I think this area with the campsite next to it, they both work really well together. Now, this build was one that I was really excited to work on. I'm doing a construction area. I had been wanting to use the construction items on my island for a while. I wasn't planning on using them here. I was initially going to use them at Nook's Cranny, and I wanted to make it look like the stores were undergoing a renovation. Unfortunately, I couldn't get all of the items that I needed because I really wanted to use the scaffolding, and that was just not an item that turned up during the course of building this island. And I had this space over on the right side of the island that I had started builds on it maybe 3 or 4 times, and every time I did it I just was not happy with the way it was turning out. I originally got this idea from a stream that I was watching, I want to say about 12 months ago. The person who was doing the stream was doing Dream Island visits, and they went to someone's island, and what they had done was they had moved one of their villagers out, I think, and left the empty plot there, and then put up a sign to make it look like Tom Nook was selling a plot of land. So I wanted to do something like that because I thought that was a really great idea. So I just used some of the rope fencing to make it look like there was a plot of land there, and just, you know, I just put some construction items around. I put a couple of the retro stops to make it look like it was like the building site manager's office or whatever, with like a table out the front and stuff. I mean, honestly, I don't know what a construction site looks like. But I think it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, I like it. So this next build here, super happy with this one. I'm decorating Marshall's house because, so this is what happened. Shep used to live here, because I cannot remember what I have mentioned in my videos and what I haven't, so just bear with me. Shep used to live here, and then what happened? He asked to leave, and I either went on a villager hunt or I got a campsite villager, but somehow I ended up with Ursula. She autofilled, that's right, because I don't remember what happened. But Ursula has been living here, and I don't really like her. I hadn't really been interacting with her very much, and then she was like, I want to move out, so I was like, bye. So I was really excited to go on a villager hunt, but then the next day when I logged in, I had a campsite villager. And I cannot tell you how excited I was when I found Marshall in my campsite. He is one of my favourite villagers. So my top 3 favourite villagers are Murphy and Judy are tied for number 2, and then Broccolo is number 1. And Marshall is definitely in the top 5. I absolutely love him. And of all of the times that I have restarted my island, I have never managed to get him as my first campsite villager. So for his yard, I decided to do a nice garden out the front with my lily of the valleys that I've gotten because 5-star island, hello. I know part of Marshall's bio is that he's always wanted to own a cafe, so I decided to extend his yard out onto the beach and give him a small cafe area. I really love the way this area turned out. I think it looks adorable. So this build here is on the right side of the island next to the construction site. I've just done a few like boats and stuff around. I wanted to make this area a little bit more extra, but I didn't have enough wood. I wanted to do more of the storage sheds to make them look like a row of boathouses or something. But unfortunately by this stage I had run out of hardwood. I could only make just the 2 and that was all. But I did manage to get a few yachts for this area and put out some items that I got from the fishing tourney. I fished so much for these items, it was unbelievable, but I'm really glad that I did. And at the time of doing this build, I wanted to put retro stops at the back on the rocks, but I didn't have any. I had to order them in, but I have since done that and I added them in the next day. This is just a little before and after of a small beach area that I had on the left hand side. It was in between Marshall's house and the big field of flowers that was at the end of the island. So I didn't bother recording this because it didn't take me very long. I just filled it with some flowers and a few bits and pieces, but I think it turned out pretty cute. Alright, we are nearing the end. This is the last major build for the video. I'm doing the shops area, so Nooks and the Able sisters. I do have just a few tiny little areas that I'll show you now that I done the night before, because I just got inspired and just, you know, decided to do a little bit of building while I was off camera. But like I said earlier, because I was initially going to do a construction area for Nooks to make it look like it was being renovated, when I went to do this build, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I did have one of the trucks in storage, so I thought I might make it look like Nooks Cranny was getting a delivery. So I made a quick custom design for the side of the truck And then I just basically got a heap of items out of my storage and chucked them on the ground because I bought them all from Nook's Cranny anyway. And then over next to the Able Sisters store, I just done a few like sewing things, like just the basic stuff like the spinning wheel and the sewing kit, because I didn't really have many items to go here. I did, however, design a couple of really simple dresses to place out the front because I have to do all of my own custom designs and I've never really designed clothes before. I kept them as simple as I possibly could. I really like the final result for this build. I think the shops look pretty cute, even if I do say so myself. Alright, so now we are on to the very last build of the island. I did this one off camera because, as you can see, the beach is completely covered in flowers. It took me so long to dig all of these up and I didn't really feel like sitting at the computer to do that, so I went and sat on the couch, got a little bit comfy and dug up all of the flowers and then just done a bit of quick decorating along the beach. I'm really happy with it and I'm just so stoked at this point. When I was doing this, I was like, yes, finally done. I'm finally done. Alright, so we are nearing the end of the video. As you can see, I am in a yard now and I'm very happy. During the course of doing that last build, Sid finally asked to leave. I was like, okay, bye. Because if you've been following my channel, you will know that I done a build for this yard a long time ago, and I think it was Panchetti that was living here at the time. And the day after I finished this, I got Sid as a campsite villager and he asked to take her place. So unfortunately his house has been here this whole entire time and his house is black and I didn't want him here when I did my dream address. So the fact that he asked to leave was like the best thing that could have happened, honestly. And I will be honest, by this point I had finished my island, so I finally did do a little bit of time traveling. I did go forward one day just so that I could get a plot empty so I could fill it before I made my dream address. And you can just imagine my excitement when I went on a villager hunt and I found Murphy. Like, oh my gosh. I love that little bear. He is so freaking cute. So Murphy's here now. I did a little redecorating in the yard here. I just replaced some of the yellow flowers with green ones and put in some like green pumpkins and some sugarcane because he's like the cutest little green bear you will ever meet. Anyway, that is the end of the video. I have finished my island. Oh my gosh. It has been a ride. It has been a ride, I tell you. I will make another video in a day or two. Like, I will release it a day or two after this one comes out, where I will release my DA and I'll do a little tour of the island because I do want to go over all of the things that I have accomplished doing this island because I feel like I got a lot done. I really do. But thank you so much for watching, and if you have been watching my series throughout this whole thing and like liking my videos and stuff, thank you. I'm really looking forward to my next challenge, which I might discuss that in my next video. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye!